My name's Tim Fisher. Today I'm going to show you how to paint flowers in acrylics in a looser, more impressionistic style. I'm going to be doing 3 paintings for you, the first of which is white magnolias. Here on my canvas board you can now see my magnolia flower arrangement. I've drawn this in using a fibre tip drawing pen. I find this works really well because generally if you use a pencil, all the moisture from the acrylics tends to lift it and dirty the painting. Also, the other use of this is that you can see your line work as you build the painting up. So let's start by applying some paint onto the surface. So my first objective is to kill the white and provide a nice warm background that we can start to develop the flower patterns on top of. So I'm going to start with an inch flat nylon brush, and I've squeezed out 3 colours to start. I've squeezed out Naples yellow, yellow ochre and cadmium red hue, and I'm going to use those in varying proportions now to kill as much white on this canvas board as I can, but reserving some of the areas where the petals are. Just apply a little bit of water into the mixture just to give it a little bit of runniness, and I'm picking up a little bit of Naples yellow and yellow ochre and then flicking in some of the cadmium red into places, and I'm working quite quickly. Acrylics does tend to dry on you, so it's quite a good idea to work as quickly as you can, and you get the colours flowing into each other then and creating quite an interesting background to work into. I have to be careful where the flowers are, not overly careful, but I need to just reserve where those white petals. What I also sometimes do when I paint a leaf is to paint each half, so the left and right, and then you naturally get that central vein from the leaf appearing, which is really the background showing through. Now a little bit of yellow ochre, not too strongly mixed, and we're just going to hint at some less detailed leaf shapes in different parts of the painting. So that's the leaves basically laid out. What I'm going to do now is work some of the twigs and the sticks that are sitting in the background. What I'm doing now, I'm moving on to a finer round brush. This is a size 8 round synthetic brush. So burnt sienna, we'll start with that. I'm going to paint through now where the twigs run through the painting. Put a little bit of yellow ochre on the brush as well. I've not mixed it, and I'm just slightly rolling the brush in my fingers so I present a slightly different colour to the painting surface. There's a little bit of Naples yellow on there as well now. That'll flick through there. I'm not bothering to wash the brush out. I'm just putting different colours around the brush. So there's a little bit of black gone on now. I've squeezed out some cerulean blue and some white. You'll find working with a knife the paint doesn't mix quite so well, but that's actually an advantage when you're working because you get this lovely marbling effect on the surface of the painting. The surface isn't completely dry, so we should get a bit of pickup going on as we paint. So some of the underlying colours should pick up and float into the surface. So we should get some slightly greeny tinges as well. I'm laying this on quite thick, and as I work down the painting, I'm looking for areas that I can reserve as red blobs, and these red blobs we can then start to formulate into the poppies further into the painting. Quite nice to get some of the shades to overlap, so try not to block in colour too evenly around these reserved red spaces, and try and get some of them to shapes to merge. Quite nice working this way because the red painting underneath, it's so thin, the colour of the canvas shines through as well, giving the poppies a lovely glow. Right, that's the one that's facing us. I'm going to turn to this one now, which is looking out of the picture a little, and just put a little bit of dark into that shadow side. Because the light's coming that way, the interior of this one's going to be fairly dark. And again, using the chisel edge of the brush just to start to describe the formation of the flower. Just carefully washing my brush out because I don't want these blues to start corrupting the purer yellows and reds and ochres that we're using to construct the rest of the flower with. I'm just trying not to be too specific with the shades, just letting the shape almost develop itself. Maybe some slightly lighter tones around here where the light's sort of breaking through and just catching edges of the petals.